Representing the 31 to 53 foot class in the center console category, the SeaVee 340Z has an overall length of 34 feet 9 inches, a beam of 10 feet, and a max horsepower rating of 1200. She has a draft of 20 inches, a dead rise of 23.5 degrees, a weight of 7,950 pounds, and a fuel capacity of 364 gallons. Now, let's hear more from our hosts, George Labonte and Rick Riles.
George, I've been looking forward to doing this boat ever since the lineup came out. I've ridden on SeaVees ever since Don McGee started building them in 1975. I still haven't found one I don't like.
You know what, Rick? I'm a big SeaVee fan myself. This 34-foot SeaVee, they've been building this boat for 16 years. There's a good reason why it's still here for 16 years. It's a great design. But they tweaked the bottom of this boat. This is a 340Z. They call it a Z because it's a double step bottom. They wanted to improve efficiency and give you a little more speed, and they've done that with this design.
The ride's unmistakable. You and I know that.
Oh, yeah.
It's soft, it's dry, it just rides great. There's plenty of room for your passengers. And look at this deck layout. There is nothing to get in the way.
I've always enjoyed fishing on the 34 SeaVee. There's so many cool features. Let's take a look around at some of them.
George, I may be the biggest fan around of these coffin boxes up here. I don't want to get down on my knees every time I need to get something.
Yeah, tell me why you like this. I mean, there's a bunch of benefits to having a coffin box. What do you like about it?
Well, one of them is it's perfect seating. You know, if you're fighting a big fish, you can sit up there. Secondly, anything you need to get to in a hurry, you can just open the box and get to. This one's on a ram, so it comes up and you got a ton more storage beneath it. They've got usable storage all the way around, and you're gonna fish all the way around this boat.
Absolutely, and a 360 design, I mean, is very popular for a reason. When I think about boats like this, I think about guys fishing sailfish tournaments. You can work fish around the boat, not have to take your spread out of the water. You get a double or a triple header sail bite. You work the fish around the boat and just keep fishing. Kingfish tournaments, for that matter. When you think about those two things, what do you think about? Bait. This boat has got an 85-gallon live well on the deck right underneath your feet there. That's more than you're ever going to need. The forward entry into the console, it's a really cool thing to have, but this boat takes it to the next level. How about this? Sliding track.
Sweet.
How many days have I
Very
been on
sweet.
a boat and somebody's got to get in there and get their backpack out of the console, and they flip that door up when you're driving, and all of a sudden you're blind. That handles it right there. You know, another option that makes a lot of sense on this boat, Rick, is the second station. Having that second station, giving you that height advantage, it makes it much easier for you to see that and see a bite before it happens.
George, another way you know it's a SeaVee, the simple, low-profile console that you can see directly over.
The flush-mounted electronics, this one's got the shadow box setback with the cover on it.
Think how hard it is to see your chart once it's got salt all over it. So they recessed it back, which gives you room for your phone and everything else. The simple design of this console is one of the reasons you keep coming back to SeaVee.
We're all familiar with this design, this helm station right here, all fiberglass helm station, tackle center right here, and then a cooler on a sliding track. You've seen it a bunch, you see it on a bunch of different boats, but it started on the SeaVee. Rick, let's talk about functional use of space in the cockpit on a boat right here. You've got a great big fish box right here. You've got access to all your pumps and systems behind it. Two boxes there, actually that box right there you're standing on, it's got a lift out liner. You can fit a couple of buckets, cleaning supplies, cast nets, all that stuff. And that 55-gallon live well in the transom right there, we can't forget about that. Now that 85-gallon live well in the front, 55 here, both pressurized. You can fill that thing full of water to the top where you're forcing the water out the drain on it, but it is completely full. When you're going 50 miles an hour in a boat like this in 2 to 4 foot seas, those baits are going to get shook up. When you pressurize that water to the top, no more.
There's nothing better than pulling a bait out of a live well at 3 o'clock in the afternoon that is just as frisky as he was when you put him in there at 6 in the morning.
Absolutely. You know what else? You know, this setup right here, we've been cruising around in the Intracoastal today. Got a great big bench seat with a backrest, very comfortable for riding around, but this pulls right out of here, get it out of the way. When it's time to go fishing and do some serious work, all this stuff is gone.
I'd have to make it go away, George, because to me, this boat just screams serious fishing. This SeaVee 34Z is only a step forward. I see only good things in the future of this hull.